give up 360-yard rushing and only get 46. We got 5 turnovers. Kick the ball out of bounds right when you need to try to gain some field position. So those are really discouraging things. I'll give you a positive. I thought our young men, getting down 14-0 after coming off of 2 losses, hung in there and fought. There's no quit in them. We're not doing well enough, but it's not for lack of effort on the part of our players. So, that's not a winning formula, as I said. Giving up that many yards rushing, not be able to run it, turning it over that much. Key thing for those young men is that they hang together and support each other and continue to search for answers and come out and work hard. Absorb the disappointment, but not let it affect them going forward. And so that's what we'll continue to talk about. Sometimes, there's tough life lessons to be learned in athletic competition. And hopefully we can learn those lessons and they'll apply them some point down the road in their life and it'll help them. But right now it's very, very painful for all of us. That's all I really have to say.
Jim, what was the thinking going back to the spread as your base offense, and will it be your base offense going forward?
Well, we haven't been able to run the ball, which is no secret. So we felt like we'd go up tempo, try to open some things up for our backs, try to help our our offensive line up a little bit. We'll see what we do going forward.
Coach, have you been able to identify what the situation is, either with the line to not get the ground game sparked?
Well, we didn't really try to run the ball today. We only attempted 12 rushes, I think, right? Some of them were Mike's and scrambled.
How many? 16.
Yeah, but how many were Mike?
Yeah, 6.
Yeah, so we only attempted 10 runs.
Was that the game plan to not run the ball, to throw more?
Yeah.
Run D had been so good. What do you think happened today?
Yeah, it's been so good lately, and they got in that what we call 12 personnel, and we got on the wrong side of some blocks, and that young man had a great day. He had a world-class day against us. So that's disappointing because we have been playing the run so well. So we were searching for answers, on the field between series, between plays, trying to get ourselves in the right call. Sometimes you get out of rhythm. Our guys have been playing so well on defense, so hard on defense, and today they just, we weren't able to. We were able to sustain the success we've been having. It's something we'll have to look hard at.
Jim, how would you assess Mike's performance today?
I think Mike is gritty as heck. He threw the ball 70 times today. Threw, I don't know how many touchdowns he had, but he had a few. He's unaffected, by his mistakes. I mean, he's affected by them, but he keeps going out there and slinging it. I think that his teammates have tremendous respect for him, and I think they want to play hard for him. He's a warrior. He's a stud of a kid. I have great respect for him.
Jim, have you ever been part of a game as coach where your team just went completely away and just didn't even try to run the ball?
Yeah, I mean, I've coached hundreds and hundreds of games, and I've been in. I don't know if you know this, but I came into the league with Don Coryell. You remember Eric Coryell? There you go. There's your answer.
I mean, it goes back to that kind of that era, that time.
No, it's really, you go into every game trying to win. I mean, your objective is to win, whatever it takes to win. That's what you have to be willing to do. You can't be so stubborn as to say, we're not going to try that because that's not conventional. You have to be willing to try to win. And we felt as we went through that game, we didn't go into the game thinking we'd throw it 70 and run a 10. Actually drop back 76 times and throw a 10, but we were moving the ball through the air. We were making plays through the air, and our offensive line was doing an excellent job with protection. That defensive line came in as the number 1 sack unit in the Pac-12 with 20. We called 76 passes, and they had 2 sacks. That's a credit to our offensive line. We had 5 sacks on defense, you know, so but we couldn't stop them.
Jim, do you think when you go to this kind of offense like from last season that's up tempo, do you think that puts a lot of pressure on the defense?
Our defense has had so much pressure on it the last 5 weeks that I don't think it matters one single bit. You know, I mean, we've had 12 turnovers now in the last 3 games, so that's pressure in itself right there for our defense. You know, if you look back at last week's game, I don't know who we played last week. Washington State. I mean, in the field position that they were put in, I mean, they've been under pressure all along, but they've responded very, very well to it. Except for today, we did not. We did not respond as well as we have, and so we have to find out why. Because it's a prideful group. It's a group that's made tremendous gains this year, and we've got to figure out what happened exactly.
Jim, you mentioned the opening kickoff that went for a touchdown. What was the biggest problem there on that play?
The kick. The kick needs to go deep left. The kick didn't go deep left. They ran a bounce. We were closing down the right side, and then they found a crease. And I don't know if we missed any tackles or not, but it starts with placement of the kick. Simple.
2 things, Kenny Walker, is he okay? And then made some changes in the punting game, a couple different guys you took a look at there.
Yeah, I believe, I don't know if he's not okay, but I don't know the extent of or the seriousness of his injury. Went out on the field, walked off with him. He seemed very coherent, knew where he was talking, you know, was aware of his surroundings, all those things. But our doctors will do the tremendous job that they always do of evaluating that and making sure that, you know, that we make the right decisions with regards to his long-term health moving forward. We did make changes in the punting game, and I thought they paid off for us. We'll continue to look for ways to try to increase performance at all positions. And you know, we used Adam Searle out there. We used Stephen Flintoff out there. We did some rugby stuff. You know, we have struggled a little bit lately in the punting game. Doing that is not an indicator of a lack of trust in Austin. It's sometimes you have to, you know, with these young guys, he's a freshman. As I told you guys last week, he's incredibly hard on himself. You know, I think it's sometimes you've got to take a little off of him to let him grow, and that's what we try to do. Fortunately, Adam and Stefan did a good job.
Coach, over here to your right. Having the bye week now, good thing, bad thing, you know?
It's a good question. You know, you always like to get back out and compete again. I think this gives us a chance to regroup a little bit. You know, it's not a full bye week because our next game's on a Thursday night, but at least it is a couple days where we can regroup. You know, at this point in the season, guys are pretty beat up, so you can hopefully, you know, you can mend a little bit. As coaches, it gives us a chance to do a couple of things, go back and reevaluate everything, you know, in real depth without the pressure of a game looming immediately. Certainly hit the recruiting trail. So, you know, I don't know if it's a good thing or not. I think it can be if we manage it the right way, which we will do our best to do.
With all due respect, Coach, and please don't take this the wrong way, but I know there's been a lot of difficult losses this year. Do you fear that there's a possibility to lose the locker room because of the way?
Last one, Ben.
Can you tell us about Josh?
I don't even know what lose the explain to me what lose the locker room means, because I've been in, how many locker rooms have you been in?
I used to coach high school football. So
High school football. Okay, I've coached 35 years. I've never seen a coach lose a locker room. That's a fantasy myth. That's like Donald Trump doing one of those. Okay, you're not going to lose this locker room. So the answer is an unequivocal no.
Last one, Ben.
Josh Rosen, it looked like he was making some strides to maybe play this week. Can you tell us how close?
I'm not worried about Josh. I'm proud of Mike Faithful.
All right, thanks, guys.